Hey Liz,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm okay.
Tired? How's your pink eye doing?
Oh, I had to go to the doctor again today, and because the drops weren't helping at all, like nothing was getting better. So I had to get this new ointment. Now it's like I have to like literally put my finger like in there. It's like
Oh, well,
I'm hoping it's gonna be better now. So
yeah, well,
yeah,
I know that's
no
hard.
fun. I don't wish it upon anybody. Actually, it's awful.
Well, we're gonna go ahead
Did
and get
you,
started. Hey Nicole. I'm sorry.
hey, did you get it from your daughter, you think, Liz, or where'd it come from?
I think I oh yeah, she got it last week, and yeah, I just probably got it, I mean she's always touching my face, and
Yeah.
when we play together and everything, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, I hope this ointment really just kills it, because the doctor said that it should be gone within a couple of days. So I'm like, okay, please be gone. Because
Aw.
it's more annoying than anything, really. And I had to throw out all my makeup. I was so sad. I had to throw out all my eye makeup, and I was like, no. But he was like, you have to. You don't want to infect yourself again. And I'm like, I know, you're right. So,
Aw.
oh
Yeah,
well.
that would be the worst because it's money, and then it's like you got to go and get the stuff that you like all over again, and
Yeah. So I want to make sure it's gone out of here. So,
Well, make it cheaper than another medical bill. So,
yeah, right.
yeah, definitely.
Thanks for asking, though.
Oh, absolutely. Keep us updated.
I will.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We have Nicole on the call with us tonight, and we're going to be talking about an important topic. As, of course, in this business, I was reading a lot of self-evaluations. By the way, I'm the only one that can see them, so I'm not posting them publicly, but I was reading a lot of them, and, people get into this business for different things. One of them is the physical aspect, the physical transformation. The other one is for the financial side of it. So if you are in this for the financial side of it, in the coaching opportunity, I want you to understand that there comes a time, we're in this business ultimately to help people. That's why we're coaches. And that's why we have Liz on the call, or I'm sorry, we have Liz on the call, but Nicole is going to be the one that's speaking. They're both personal trainers. Nicole, has been a personal trainer for a while. How many years, Nicole?
5 years,
5 years?
almost six, almost six. Yeah, it'll be 6 in March.
Awesome. And she's going to share some tips with us tonight on how we can, it's one thing to help ourselves, but how we can help other people reach the physical goals that they need to with these programs. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her. Go ahead.
Okay. Without further ado, here we go. So it's not a whole lot different than what we do as coaches. Because you guys know that you don't have to be a personal trainer or any sort of a fitness expert to be a coach. It's just, you're sharing your journey with others. So you guys already know that. But what I think is important is while you're keeping your records and you're keeping track of who you talk to, which I admit that is my biggest problem in this business. I don't track well at all. But put that on the back burner for a moment and pretend that I do. And the people that you talk to, you have to know what their goals are. So that part I'm fine with once I get them as a customer into a challenge group, et cetera, then that's thing number one that you have to know is what their goals are. And here's something I learned as a personal trainer, and I don't know, Liz, if you've learned this too, but what they tell you in school is 95% of people are going to want the same thing. They want to tone up and lose weight. So you don't have to, that makes it sound so simple, but in reality, you don't have to know a whole lot of other stuff to fill your brain with. You're very rarely going to meet somebody, you will at some point meet somebody who needs to gain mass. But you know, that's I haven't met that person yet, and I've been doing this for 5 years, so I haven't met that person. But you will. You have to kind of know, and with the internet and stuff, you just do a little bit of background. In fact, Shalene just did an awesome podcast in her lifestyle podcast, not the Build Your Tribe, but the Shalene Show, on your body type will affect your results or something like that. It's body type is in the title. Listen to that. It's awesome. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And she's coming out with something soon, some new program. I know she's trying to work with Beachbody on this. But anyway, so she's talking about body type and how you have to train differently in order to get results that other people have. Like she used Cameron Diaz as an example, and then she used like other people that are fit and look awesome, like let's just say J-Lo or whatever. J-Lo and Cameron Diaz, they have very different bodies, right? And so but they both look awesome, so whatever it is they're doing, they're training for to maximize their own what they have. You know, J-Lo can't become, you know, I don't know how tall Cameron Diaz is, but you know, she's not going to be 5'9" or whatever, you know what I mean? You got to work with what you have. So know your clients or your customers or your challengers or your coaches' goals, because like you said, Jessica, we all go into this business for different reasons. So when you're talking to your challenger or your potential customer, revisit their goals in your conversations. You can revisit like the lunch group reason that they started talking to you about fitness, and not necessarily that they're a challenger yet, but you're having these conversations in whatever tracking system you use. Put down what their goals are or what their situation is. Even though everybody wants to shape up and slim down, some person may have 20 pounds to lose, and you can't make them think they're going to do that in 21 days. While someone else may just have 5 pounds, or somebody may have, you know, a whole big eating disordered eating. But that's going to take some time for you they're going to have to be honest with you. That takes, you know, a lot of trust for them to open up and that sort of thing. So that's like the number one thing, is to know what your clients or potential customers or whatever, what their goals are, and your challengers too. I have a lot of people tell me in my challenge groups that it's the meal prepping is an issue, and I would say that's an issue for me as well, and you guys could probably relate to that too. So I think the Beachbody blog has a lot of good articles on meal prepping. You can search, you know, in the search bar, meal prep, and they have tons of articles in there. So I often try to include that in my challenge group posts. Probably not once a week, but definitely more than one time within a 21-day group. I'll do it 2 or 3 times in a 21-day group. So it depends, because I have, like I said, if one of my customers says, "Oh, I'm having trouble with the meal prepping," then in the next day or so, I'll research an article. Typically, I find something in the Beachbody blog, and then I, you know, give them that as one of my posts, or just an additional post for the day that, you know, I tag them in it and I say, so-and-so mentioned having trouble with meal prepping. We all have problems with that and whatever. So you could also create like your own PDF on like meal plan, like easy stuff that you have. It doesn't even have to be a PDF. It could be a Word document. But if somebody reminds me, I'll post mine in our files section. I created a PDF myself. Well, I hired somebody from Upwork to do it, but yeah. But I just found that it's something that I always give my clients when they start coming to me. I just give them basically, like one time I did a Facebook post. This is like probably a year or more ago, and a lot of people commented like, "Oh, I would love to have this in a document." So that's what I made my freemium, basically. And so it's a PDF that I give to all my clients. And sometimes I upload it into my challenge group, and sometimes I don't, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know that anyone's looking at it. You know what I mean? So sometimes I put it in my challenge group files and sometimes I don't. But if you guys remind me, message me or something, and I'll put it in we could put it in our challenge group files, right? On the, it doesn't have to be Facebook. It could be the challenge tracker, right? I could put that in there for you guys. So it's just a PDF on how I eat. So you could, just do your own outline. You could steal it. I don't care, except my name and my picture's on it. So your customers they're not going to really want it. They're not going to know who the hell I am. But so I just keep, it's not really a meal prepping document. It's more like the foods I keep on hand that make things quick and easy for me. So I'll give that to you guys, and then you could see how you could make one very similar for your customers and stuff. So like I said, whether my customers use it or not, I don't know, but it's there. And then and again, just follow up with your customers or potential customers or challengers. If you're not, say you're not a challenger, the person you're talking to is not a challenger yet. I know that you guys have heard, no doesn't mean no, it's a not right now. I think on average, people need to be asked 5 to 7 times before they say yes. One time when I went to Summit, not this year, but the year before, Tracy Morrow was talking, and she told her story about how, and I don't know if you know, but Tracy Morrow was a founding coach, and Carl Deichler literally asked her 4 times before she said yes. And that was Carl Deichler. It wasn't like Joe Schmo, one of us. It was Carl Deichler called her into his office on 4 separate occasions, and she said yes the 4th time. So just, don't let anybody fall off your radar. Even like your challengers will fall off your radar sometimes, right? Like they just kind of go. What's great about the challenge tracker is you could check, the last time somebody posted and that sort of thing. So I reach out to people, and that's usually when I hear, oh yeah, I'm having a really hard time with meal prepping. I don't usually hear that it's the exercise is the issue. Now, whether they're just not saying that to me or whether it really is the case that it's meal prepping, So I usually, when I reach out to somebody, I hear that meal prepping is giving me a hard, that's my challenge and blah, blah, blah. So I check the challenge tracker, because days come, days go, and you don't realize when people have it, you could be surprised. It'd be like a whole week that you haven't heard from somebody if you don't look. That's me personally. So I check in and I'll see like, oh wow, it's been more than 2 days. It's been 5 days since I heard from Sandy or something. So I send them a personal message. So that's another thing that you could do for your challengers and your coaches if you have a coach that you haven't really talked to in a while. Which, by the way, did you guys see? Here's another point that's in the Coach Online office. The 30. It's like a new training program, and I'll get the name wrong if I try it, but I see Liz is shaking her head. It's like they introduced it at Super Saturday. It's not vital behaviors. Vital process.
Vital process. Yep.
Yeah. And so there's a whole outline in your Coach Online office. Everything's like focused on like 30 days, 30 minutes, 30 this, 30 that. And the idea is not to have like a new coach be overwhelmed. So most of my coaches aren't working or doing anything, but for my one very new coach and then Corinne, I have them both in you could call it a Coach Basics, but I took Christine Dwyer's 14-day Jumpstart and I used that. And so today I just happened to upload that whole outline that's in our Coach Online office. I put every document that's in there, the links in there. So that's another thing. It doesn't just have to be challengers that you're talking about their results and what they want. Your coaches too, you have to think about, well, why haven't I heard from this coach lately, or what's going on in their life, or are they overwhelmed? Like, I know that new coaches get overwhelmed. I still get overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed every single day. So I don't expect I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm always overwhelmed. So I don't expect my new coaches to not be overwhelmed. I always tell them, you're going to be overwhelmed. Don't think you're going to learn it all at once. right? So, I mean, you're not.
No.
So, yeah. Did you want to say something, Jess?
Oh, yeah. I was going to add, last Super Saturday, not this past one, but in August, I ran across a diamond coach. And, for some reason, beyond me, I think I've said this before, I said, I think I know it all. I was feeling pumped. I was coming out of push groups, reading them and everything. And she said, I'm a diamond coach and I'm still learning. So it is, the minute you think you know it all, that's the minute that your business comes to a halt. You have to, like you said, keep growing. And I'm really glad that you added that 30-day coach, because new coaches need that, because one of the common things I see, especially with coaches that, maybe don't have the upline support or whatever, they're like, I don't know what to do. And then they get frustrated and they quit. So they just need to know where to look. So if you can point them there.
Yeah, exactly. And all those documents, it talks, if you follow that process for yourself, it should be a completely duplicatable system where if you follow that process, then your onboarding coach should follow that process.
Right.
Janelle said, I don't know if you guys heard her call where she talked about creating an event for Core de Force, like a Core de Force sneak peek that we did a few weeks ago, right? And I thought it was so brilliant for Janelle to say, she's not doing these things. If she's not doing them, then her coaches aren't doing them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So she realized, like, oh, I'm not doing that. So if I'm not doing that, then my coaches aren't doing it. So I have to teach you how to do it. So if you're not doing it, your coaches aren't doing it. And on and on and on. Like, I know that, and I'm not blaming my upline coach at all when I say this, but I do for my coaches what she did for me. And so then it's like, I just expect, okay, let's go. And it's,
yeah.
Right? All right.
It's a definite learning process. And, from doing all these push groups, it's like, okay, knowing where, because, it's all dependent on what your coaches need too. It's like, okay, well, if this person still needs help with the 4 vital behaviors, we can't be talking about recruiting. We have to go back to step 1 and get those vital behaviors in, being a proctor of the product and personal development. And, I think it's automatically assumed that so many coaches do these things, but they don't, and they wonder why their business is not growing. It's because they're not getting their 4 vital behaviors in. You've got to do those before you can run a challenge group effectively and recruit other coaches and mentor them. It's just got to be the first step. So, and I really liked, Nicole, how you said meal prepping was kind of the hardest. And, one of the comments that I get from a lot of people is that they hear crickets in their challenge groups, and they're frustrated and they don't know why. They're tossing posts out there and nobody's jumping on them. And, and the thing is, to me, and I guess this is a former teacher in me, it's like sitting in a class. If any of y'all are teachers, you know what I'm talking about. Sitting in a class full of people, like say you're in front of a class full of 3rd graders and you're talking about algebra and they're not understanding it. If they need that, you've got to get, like Nicole said, on their level, know their goals and be tuned in. It's all about your group. So if you are hearing the crickets, I really like how you said that you follow up with people and it's based on their goals. It's not just based on what we have in mind and what we want for the group. It's about our challengers. So I really appreciate that, because that was actually one question I had. So thank you for.
Good. Thank you. No, because and then it goes back to when you do reach out to them, you're doing it one-on-one, and then they realize that you care about them. It's not just, okay, every day I'm posting in this group, I'm liking comments. And I don't remember who I heard say that one time, like, don't just like their comments. Like, I try to think of a response for everything that everybody says. And I know that's hard and it could be, time consuming. Even if it's just like I find the same problem, like just let them know that you're hearing them. So reaching out one-on-one and then commenting on what they say in the group. And then you never know, whatever you say may hit a chord with somebody else. And, So one of my challengers who's also a coach, she said today, because today's Tuesday, so we're on day 2 now of core de force, and it was dynamic strength, and oh my God, it's hellish if anyone's done that, hellish. Yeah, so she called it push-up pandemonium instead of dynamic strength, so I thought that was pretty funny. And so yeah, and then I had another thought about it's not about it's not about you, and like not everything is personal. Like we know this when somebody says no and they don't want to join our challenge group, or if there are crickets, it's not you. Like we have this natural tendency to think anything's about us. Like even like if you have a bad day at work and you think someone like is criticizing, it's not really. We have this thing where we focus that all this negative stuff is us, and it's not. Like someone else could just be, they're having a rough day. Has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your challenge group or your ability to reach them. We always internalize that and we think it's us, but they're probably going through something, or they're just having a busy couple of days or a bad couple of days or whatever. So that's why I think it's helpful to just reach out to them, personally. And, again, that's a great time to revisit your original conversation or their original goals, what they had said in the beginning about, whatever it was that they wanted to achieve in the group, or, something that would motivate them to keep them going, that they want to be a good example for their family or whatever the case may have been. So kind of always reference their goals or whatever it was that you had talked about. And then here's another one that I hear this tip all the time, and I'm very poor at doing this, but I'm throwing it out there for all of us, so it's a refresher for all of us. But schedule your follow-ups. I know, like, we probably all follow up with who people have reached out to us, but people who have ignored us are also the people which we have way more of them, right, than the people who have reached out to us, So Janelle calls it like a follow-up blitz or something. So like if you have a challenge group coming up, or you invited people to a sneak peek or whatever, go back, see who liked your posts, or see who you were talking to last month, or see, people that your boosted post might have reached and you never reached out to them or whatever. So schedule your follow-ups in like a follow-up blitz kind of thing. So if you have like your massive action days, let's just throw it out there, are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, set aside time in your Thursday, a half an hour for your follow-up blitz, instead of just reaching out and inviting, or reaching out and adding to your contact list or whatever. Make a special time for your follow-ups. So that's it. That's what I got.
Awesome. Well, these are some great tips. One other question that I had, wanted to ask, we have so many in Beachbody, we have so many products to choose from, and they're always coming up with something new. And as new coaches, it's so overwhelming. I think when you go into, because I was a new coach in February, and I remember thinking that 21-day fix was the only thing Beachbody was about. And then I go in there and there's size and there's all these kind of things. But I think it's, the only real way to get educated about those things is, of course, to read up on them, but to do them ourselves. And if we can't do them, start reading the results from other people and kind of start doing the research, because I get questions a lot about different programs, and they're good questions, but you want to be knowledgeable, like, with your customers. So how would you, Nicole, communicate products that you didn't either like, or weren't your thing, or haven't tried yet? Like,
that's a great question. So I'll say a couple things about that, because like when I invite to challenge groups, like right now I'm doing core de force, but if somebody reaches out to me, or if I'm inviting somebody, I'll make it a point to say, I don't want to just put you into the core de force program. Core de force might not be something that you are interested in. So that goes back to knowing your customer and their needs and their goals. So like if somebody really hates, if they're telling you they hate to work out, Like, you're not going to really recommend Core de Force. You might not want to recommend 21 Day Fix either. If someone's telling me they really hate to work out, I'm going to recommend Size or Country Heat, because that would be something I think that would take it's not a workout. You know what I mean? It's more fun. So I think it's important to be very familiar. The other thing too is if like they like to dance, like Turbo Fire is so much fun, but it's intense. So, you know, that's always floating in the back of my mind because I think that program's so much fun. But again, it depends on who you're talking to. So we really have something in my mind for everybody. But as the coach, you have to have you don't have to have gone through the entire program. I think that's part of our business is to do the whole program. It benefits us to do the whole program. But I think you need to be familiar with the workout so that you can recommend it for various customers because so I don't ever have like a Core de Force or a 21 Day Fix. My group may be 21 days, but you could be doing whatever program because I don't believe like that it's just one size fits all type of fitness thing, and we have something for everybody. So you really, when it comes to recommending a program, you have to ask questions of your potential customer. What kind of workouts do they like? Like when I say, what kind of workouts do you like? If somebody responds to me, I hate workouts, then I will say, do you like to dance? Do you like hip hop? Do you like to forget about the fact that you're even working out? Then I know that I'm going to lean towards something more like Size or Country Heat. If they struggle with, portion control, again, now we have the portion containers for every program, so you can emphasize that with any program that we get. You know what I mean? If it's time that's the problem, then you've got 22-minute hardcore, you've got the 30 minutes 21 Day Fix, or you've got 20 T25. So you have to listen to what their problems are, what their goals are, and what type of workouts they like to do.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That, I think that's something as coaches, we kind of need to keep ourselves up to date on as new programs are coming out. Like right now I'm doing Shailene Extreme and Turbo Jam, which are old programs, but I've never done them before. And I'm doing them because I want to get results. And that's really kind of, I think all of us can agree that that's really kind of what draws people into challenge groups is the results.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're coming to you. So, and another thing, because I started out at 190 pounds. Now I am 160, but I got down to 150. So I had a 40-pound transformation. So
nice.
Yeah. But, now that I'm trying to lose 10 pounds, it's a lot harder to lose 10 pounds than it was to lose 40 because my why was just, I guess because you don't have very far to go. So you give yourself a little leeway. I don't know. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is that sometimes I think people that with the most drastic transformations often get more traction than the ones that maybe have just lost 10 pounds or toned up their stomach or whatever. And that's okay. I think we can kind of get obsessed with the scale, and it's not just all about the scale. So you want to make sure that you're taking your physical measurements, because that's for me. No, that's okay. Whoever just came on. Hey, Melinda. Because that for me is what I'm noticing right now is the inches more so than the pounds. So don't neglect those things either. Just, whatever transformation that you're having, put on there, because that's what's going to draw people into your groups and get you more familiar with these programs. So, but like with Core de Force, I haven't tried Core de Force yet, but I know a lot about Core de Force because I've been researching it. I've been watching my online office. So if there's some programs that you aren't very familiar with, go ahead and get touched up on, because you want to help, like Nicole said, you want to help people reach their goals. So
yeah, so it just comes back to relationships, knowing what your customer wants, and you as the coach have to be familiar at some level as to what the program is and what it offers. Like Chalene Extreme is a fabulous program, and we're drawn to the results. So if I was recommending size or country heat to somebody, you know, I would say, depending on what the amount of weight that they have to lose, you're going to need to be in it for longer than you would. I mean, it's a lifestyle anyway, but you're not going to get the results in 21 days as you would with 21-day Fix Extreme.
Yeah.
You know, you got to understand that and explain that to your customer. If you want fast results,
Yeah.
then you're going to want to do 21-day Fix Extreme or Core de Force. And again, it depends on how much time they have for their workouts. If they only have 30 minutes for their workouts, then Core de Force has some that are a little bit longer, and you're not going to want to go there really. If time is an issue, it's not crazy long, but if somebody literally has 30 minutes, listen to what they're saying to you.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to put them into the puzzle piece that doesn't fit.
Right. Yeah. Something else I was going to ask you, and I can't remember. I hate when I do that. Oh, yeah. I'm also going to say about Nicole is that she is Emerald, but kind of knocking on the door at Diamond right now. I wouldn't be surprised if she's Diamond by her next group. But, you know, she's been recruiting and doing a lot of personal development on recruiting. Do you have any tips? We have about 9 more minutes. Do you want to share anything on recruiting or anything?
I would say a big thing is confidence in your posts, and confidence when you're talking to people, and belief in yourself and the business. You know, and that again goes to knowing who it is you're talking to, because some people just want some extra cash. Some people just, you know, I try to steer away from just signing tons of discount coaches, which has been my downfall in the past. I do have a lot of discount coaches, and I think that's the nature of it. You are going to have a lot, but I try not to lead with the discount anymore. So I'd say that's a pretty big tip. I really try not to lead with the discount anymore. And if somebody's consistently drinking Shakeology and consistently in my challenge groups, then I ask them, would you be interested in the discount? Just offering it to them as a trusted friend, because I don't think if I offer them the Shakeology discount as that's the reason that they're going to necessarily want to grow their business. But, you know, if they've expressed to me they're really not interested in growing the business, but they're drinking Shakeology every day, I'm still going to offer if they've been a good customer, but not right off the bat. I don't do that anymore. So that I would say is a tip.
And most coaches do come from challenge groups. I think a lot of us got our start in challenge groups for one way or the other, and then somewhere along the way decided to work the business. And there are a lot of people like that, you know, and some people are in the fitness industry that maybe are needing, you know, more of the flexibility and more of the security of having something. So that helps too. So there's lots of different people when you're recruiting that you're looking at in lots of different scenarios. But one of the things is that this is not a get rich quick business, as we all know. If you haven't figured that out by now, it's not the way. And it's because our programs take a long time to get results. Therefore, this business takes a long time to get results. I'm talking about years. So what will get you there is the 4 vital behaviors every single day, going back to step 1, and then gradually working to helping others. Those first 2 are most important for growing your business. And thank you so much, Nicole, for all your great tips. I really appreciate, because this is kind of where I needed help too, is helping others. You know, we know how to help ourselves, but as far as getting on the level, other people who know nothing about Beachbody or this business or anything else like that, it was really helpful listening to their goals and, you know, getting in tune with our groups and just kind of getting on the level of our challengers.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. I like to, you know, just do the research on the stuff that you wanted, you know, me to talk about, so it gets my mind right. And it helps, and you probably noticed, Liz and Jessica too, that when you set up for a call, you see where your weaknesses are. And that's pretty important, right? You see, I should be doing that. And and I haven't been. So that's why I said, like, these are my weaknesses, you know? So that's why I kind of like preparing for stuff like this.
Sometimes it's just as helpful to teach as it is to work the business. I mean, we're all in this together, no matter where we are. So that's a helpful thing. But thank you so much for being on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole.
And this has
You're
been
very welcome.
Yes, thank you. And this has been a great group, guys. I've really appreciated everybody just giving their feedback and opening up. And just like our challengers, we want them to open up. Everybody has opened up in this group. And, the only way we can help one another is to open up. So thank you all for your time and your posts and just pulling in this together. We've got 3 more days. So
it goes so fast. I had so much fun.
I know, it does go fast.
Yes. I'm planning one again in February. I think February 13th. It's going to be 21 days again. I think this is a good length. Like it's 21 days. But thank you, all of you that have been speakers. Melissa's not on tonight, but Liz and Nicole and everybody for taking time out to do this and keep pushing forward.
Will do. Knocking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.